Well, we are back for episode 5 of Ahsoka, where yet again we are faced with another episode that is nothing more but a complete and utter giant waste of time that does not progress any aspect of the show forward. We're still at the very beginning of the show, still waiting for the plot to actually begin, and we are now 5 episodes in, 3 episodes to go. There's no sign of Thrawn or anything else. My only question is, can we get on with it? Can we just move on? Can we move past the nostalgia bait and the jangling of keys and just tell the fucking story? I'd really appreciate if we actually did that, but Dave Filoni clearly doesn't have the capability to pull it off. It's just a load of meandering garbage. That is all this show has been throughout the entire thing. And where we left off in the previous episode was, of course, the jangling of keys that is Anakin Skywalker. Right, I don't care about this. None of it's got any fucking substance. But no, we have to listen to people praising the most superficial bollocks you could ever think up. Just, oh, Anakin Skywalker's back. It's such a great show. No, it's not. It's trash. That is what this show is. So we started off with Anakin Skywalker. He's back. He's back. That's what I wanted. That's what I always wanted. I didn't want to just, can we move on? Can we just move on from this? I don't care about this anymore. That was in the past. Leave it there. Let's just move forward. But no, we have to find some way to justify, whether it's Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, whoever it is, we have to justify them showing up to then make the show seem like it actually has something to offer. When, you look further than what's on the surface, there's nothing there. There is nothing there. So that's where we started. We're going to get into that nonsense in a little while. We start off with Green Karen. She's finally come down to this planet after killing a load of her friends and endangering the life of her 10-year-old son. So she's now come down. She's like, where are they? Her son's like, can I come out now? He's been told to stay on the ship because it could be dangerous for him. Yet she brought him here. Great mothering going on. So she lets him out. And she finds the robot. She finds David Tennant. And he's like, I told them to stay together. And that's all we get out of that. We then go into what is called the Worlds Between Worlds. You don't need to know anything about it because it's a load of bullshit. That's all it really is. So Ahsoka has woken up. She's currently drowning, but we're going to spend time on this. So she's drowning. She comes in. She says to Anakin, you look the same. And then Anakin says, you look old. And then Ahsoka says, that's what happens. And I'm like, that's such great dialogue. That really is. Oh, you look old. Oh, all right. I mean, you might as well be sitting down and having a coffee. Talking in this way. So that's how it starts out. And essentially, all we're dealing with here is a load of shit that hasn't been set up at all throughout the start of it. So it's just stuff that comes out of nowhere. Where Ahsoka has to learn the lesson of wanting to live or something like that. It's like, yeah, where did that come from? You didn't show any signs of, you just lost faith in everything. You never had that. And now you're just like, oh, I want to live. Oh, what's that got to do with anything? I don't know. So it's essentially, in her head, she has taught herself a lesson that she wants to live. That's all it is. And it goes on for about 25 minutes. And that's all they do. It's like, all right, yeah, but you haven't set any of this up. You haven't built up to it. Nothing of that nature. You fucked around for 4 episodes. And now you're trying to claim some sort of payoff that you haven't set up. So that's essentially what we have here. So Anakin's like, you lost the fight. Do you remember? And then she remembers, and he's like, all right, that's good. Because I've still got a lesson to teach you. And then he goes on to say, do you want to live? Stuff like that. And she's like, oh, I'm not going to fight you. Fucking, just kill me. So, yeah, she's like, what's the lesson, master? And he's like, to live or die or something like that. To live, you know, eventually you have to make the choice. Do you want to live or die? It's again, where's all this coming from? I don't know. So we go back to them. They're still fucking about. They're like, where could they possibly be? This guy comes. This guy that just turns up for no reason. He's not a character. He's just there every now and again in every show. Just shows up for whatever purpose he serves. I don't know. Maybe it's Dave Filoni's friend. You know, maybe that's what it is. So he's like, right, Green Karen. We better you know, let's, you know, transmit to the fucking New Republic. They'd be, you know, wanting our heads because we disobeyed their orders, meaning we are currently court-martialed. That's what should happen. They later act surprised that they may get suspended when it's like you disobeyed orders and fucked off. So, I don't know what you're upset about. So he's like, you know, what are we going to tell them? And she's like, oh, well, I'm a general. She keeps using that excuse. No, there's people that are higher up than you. You know, just because you're a general doesn't mean you're in charge. But that's what she seems to think. So we then have her son Jason. He turns out to have Force abilities because he's the son of some Jedi. And he starts saying, look, listen closely. And then you start to hear lightsabers. So they listen to that. So he's figured out what's going on. He's like, you need to go out on the ocean. You need to, you know, go down low and scan it. Yeah, but she's in a mystical fucking place. She's no longer there. Unless her body is there. In that case, then she should be dead because she's underwater. Unless her kind magically have some gills or something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. So that's what they're going to do. We go back to them. They continue to fight. I don't give a fuck. So I don't want to watch this. I want to watch an actual story. I don't want to just have, well, Ahsoka's going to fight Anakin because she doesn't want to live. She needs to learn to live. Right? Okay. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. So we're then transported to the part of the show that seems to be getting loads of praise and again has nothing of substance to offer. We go back and she's like, so we've got like a young Ahsoka, and Ahsoka says, we're in the Clone Wars. So so they're basically, you know, people are praising it for, oh, well, it's like the Clone Wars, but in live action. That makes it good, apparently. Even though it's got nothing to add, nothing of value to add. It's just, oh, it's, you know, it's live action, the Clone Wars. That's all it is. Just a lot of horse shit. We then get a conversation about the dangers of war and why Ahsoka blames herself for the death of all these people not really understanding what war means. And it just goes into, again, a long and drawn-out conversation that, again, it's just, you haven't set anything up for this. It's just Ahsoka saying, you know, this isn't what I trained for. And it's like, well, no, you're training to be a Jedi, and this is what you're tasked with doing. You fight people, you save people, you keep peace. You know, again, I don't really know where all this is coming from, but it's just stuff like, you know, what am I going to be? What will I teach my Padawan? You know, is it just simply how to fight? But yeah. You know, you do have a lightsaber. That is the majority of your training, is the use of a lightsaber. So I don't know where all that's coming from. It's just stuff about, you know, but our mistakes cost lives. You know, Anakin saying to her, oh, well, you know, just, it's like, it's our job to lead as Jedi. That doesn't mean we don't make mistakes. So it's just this conversation that goes on for way too long, isn't interesting. Again, especially when you, considering it is Ahsoka, it's like, you know, unless you've seen the Clone Wars and it's like, there's nothing to gravitate towards with this character. So anything that comes out of her mouth, anything she's feeling, there's no investment. There's still no investment in this character. So I'm still baffled on what exactly it is people, you know, like about her from the context of this show. There's nothing there. We've gotten nothing from her. So it's just like, I don't care about this person. She's just more of a hindrance than anything else. So that goes on for a bit. We then go back to, well, again, she's just going on to say stuff like, she says to Anakin, oh, well, what, let me just make sure I get it right. What if I want to stop fighting? So Anakin says, well, you die. I don't know why she doesn't grasp that. So again, the clear goal is Ahsoka needs to teach herself the lesson of wanting to live. It's just like, again, it's all come out of nowhere. There is no build-up, no setup. It's just, oh, she's learned how to live again. Yeah, but that's just come out of thin air. It's just randomly, she just fell in some fucking water. She fell in some water. I don't even know why she's currently knocked out. So she just fell in some water. It's fine. Just wake back up, get out of the water. There's no need for this. It's the worst use of this idea that, oh, she just fell off a cliff into the ocean, and now she's gonna have this big imaginary thing happen in her head about how she wants to live. It's just like, again, you need to start the show off with that idea in mind, but they haven't done that. They've given us no character, no personality. We do not know what the likes of Ahsoka are actually thinking, because we don't know nothing about them, because they are bland. They have nothing to say, but very shit lines like, oh, you get old. That happens. That's what you get from this character. And it's the same with the likes of The Mandalorian. Just, you get nothing from them. So that goes on for a bit. A lot of this stuff we're going to skip, because I don't need to sit and bore you with 25 minutes of shit that comes out of nowhere. So we go back to current day. They're going, well, not current day, just what's happening currently. They're scouring the seas looking for Ahsoka. I mean, you must just conclude at this point, well, she's dead. I don't know why they haven't just went, yeah, she's clearly dead. I mean, she fell in the water and we can't, she must be dead. So we might as well just move on. I mean, we're only going to find her floating body, which we can't find because it's nowhere to be seen. So we then get the Star Wars version of I like this one that gets said about Karen from our robot friend. He just says to her, well, it's when Hai Young finds out, oh, this mission isn't authorized by the New Republic, and then he then goes on to say, what does he say just to get it right? He just says, you do things your way because you care. That's why people like you. It's like, there's nothing likable about her, though. She's just some green twat that, again, no personality and just, acts like a Karen. That is about it. It's like, I don't even know what message you're trying to send her. It's just, you do your things your way. Yeah, I know, but you can't really do that, can you? Based on your position. There's people above you that tell you what to do. And you're just like, fuck that, don't need to listen to them. I'm a general, didn't you know? So that's that conversation. We then go back to this. We're now at the Siege of Mandalore. Some more Clone Wars stuff, I guess. 10 out of 10 episode, simply for having the visuals of the Clone Wars. Having it in live action. So it's just another conversation between the two. He's like, you're a warrior now, Ahsoka, just how I trained you to be. And she's like, is that all? Well, yes, but you are a Jedi. I don't know why you think it's more than that. I don't know what you looking to serve drinks. What else do you want? I don't know. I don't know what she wants. Because we've gotten no character from her. She's just a blank canvas with nothing to say, just vacuous. So we then go back, and then she finally says, I choose to live. So, and that takes us to, when we get the end of this, that takes us to 28 minutes almost. 28 minutes to get to, I choose to live. And you haven't done anything to you haven't even bothered to try and set it up. To start the show off with that in mind. With the idea, right? We want to have this payoff later. So when we introduce her within this show, I mean, just forget the Mandalorian for a second with the cameo she's had in there. Just in her own show, just have the idea present. Introduce her as, she's this person. She doesn't really know what to do. She doesn't know where she's going or things of that nature. It's a very simple thing, but they have no plan. They have no plan. That's why it just comes out of nowhere. You go back to episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. Where is all this? It's just a load of, we're running about looking for a star map. Someone gets stabbed and doesn't die, even though they really should. It's just a load of random things happening. To get to, Anakin's back for a cameo to tickle your balls, and he teaches her to live again. Just like, where was that at the start of the season? Who knows? So they come back, and then we've got that looks so stupid. I'm tired of pretending that Ahsoka does not look like a complete moron. She has a cat on her head. She is orange, and with having the little fucking hair thing at the front, just missing that out looks fucking worse. So she wakes up. Ha-Young's like, "You've been out for a day." She then uses a force sense, whatever you call it, to figure out what happened in this situation. They feel the need to remind us of something that we already know fucking happened because we've seen it. More way, any way that they can waste time with these episodes, they go for it. We have to have repeated information. We have to have every piece of dialogue to what happened in the previous episode. We don't need that, Dave. We can cut it. But no, it's just self-indulgent. That's how it always comes across with a lot of stuff now. It's like they're not willing to cut stuff. Just get rid of it. If we already know about it, get rid of it. Just have Ahsoka, feel the little broken star map. That's all we need to see. We understand. All right, she's figured out what actually went down. What were the events? Where is Sabine? But no, we got to listen to all the dialogue again. So yeah, she's like, they took her with them, and then they've got to go and talk to Mon Mothma. But Ahsoka is going to figure out a way how to get back, how to get to the other galaxy where Sabine is. She's looking up at some fucking space whales because yes, they're going to fucking go on some space whales. Just what was that? That was exactly the prediction. As soon as we see these space whales, it's like, yeah, that's how they're gonna get to the other galaxy. They're gonna do something, whether it's, they don't quite go as far as what I thought they were gonna do, where they just sit on the back of it and ride it like it's House of the Dragon. I'm surprised they didn't do it. I thought they were stupid enough to do it. I mean, even the way that they do it here is, just the idea of space whales anyway. It's like, again, we don't have any answers about them. I mean, from the size of them, it's like, what are they eating to sustain them? They just fly about in space and things like that. What do they eat? I don't know, but it's just more... The problem that this show has is, they're trying to translate things from a cartoon that may be fine in a cartoon. As soon as you see it in live action, though, it just doesn't translate well. And that's what we have with the likes of space whales and the world between worlds, or whatever it is. It's just fuck it off. Just get rid of it. I remember a time when it was just simple, but now we're riding space whales off to other galaxies. Just in absolute insanity. So Mon Mothma says, you don't have any evidence for, did you capture Thrawn? Did you capture Morgan Elsbeth? Have you got no? Right, then you got, the Senate will now have to decide on whether you're going to be suspended for disobeying orders. They're of course like, what? Why would that happen to us? I'm a general, didn't you know? It's like you fucked off. You disobeyed orders. I don't know why you just expected the Senate to be fine with that. They're your bosses. So that's what they're gonna do in the next episode. They're gonna be we got to watch a big court hearing probably. So it turns out, they figured out, right, I know where I'm going. Ahsoka's in a Gandalf the White attire for some reason, because that's apparently the comparisons. The comparisons that I think Dave Filoni and other people have. Oh, she's like Gandalf. No, she's not. I don't know, from what we've seen of her in this show, I don't know how you can say, oh, she's like Gandalf. She went to this world betweens place and learned to live, and now she's got white on. Right? Nothing Gandalf about it. The difference with Gandalf is we actually like Gandalf. He actually has things to offer. He's a wizard. Ahsoka's not. So I don't get the Gandalf comparison. But that seems to be what they've got. So Dave Filoni's just ripping off something that is actually good. Going, look, she's got white on. She's Gandalf. You like Gandalf, don't you? So they fly up to meet the space whales. Great. So we all know what we're about to do. And it is nothing short of retarded. So they fly up. Ahsoka, I don't know, talk. She speaks to the space whales, apparently. That's what they say. You've got Green Karen in the other ship, and she says to her son, oh, she's speaking to the space whales. So now she's fucking space whale whisperer. Asking them, oh, can you take us to this other galaxy? Oh, look, it's like Gandalf. Remember, Gandalf sent off the Eagles. So she talks to them, and they're like, fine. The space whales talk, and they say, yeah, sure, hop in. Just hop in my mouth. That's how they're going to travel. They decide to go for going in. They go in the mouth of the whale. Fucking hell. So they go in the mouth, and they're now going to go off to the other galaxy. They think. They're not certain. They're just going to jump in this mouth. The robot asks Ahsoka, are you sure this is going to take us to where we want to go? Ahsoka says, don't know. What do you mean you don't know? She then goes on to say, it's better than going nowhere. But you've actually got a plan. You've got somewhere you need to go. And you're just like, I don't know if it'll take us there, but fuck it. Let's just hop in. It may take us 17 galaxies away, and then we're fucked. So there's no, it just makes you an idiot. That's all it does. It's like, just at least be certain, somewhat certain. Just don't go, I don't know, anywhere's better than nowhere. No, but you've got something to do. You've got somewhere to be. Fucking clown. So they're flying off in the old space whales. Again, I don't know how people can look at this show and go, that's Star Wars, but then they look at a show like Andor and go, that's not Star Wars. Because that's what I remember Star Wars being. People jumping in the mouths of space whales and flying to another galaxy. I mean, again, just sounds so stupid. So that is the end of the episode. They're off to the other galaxy. Wow. So what I'm expecting in the next episode, because every episode has been a complete waste of time, is we're probably going to have Ahsoka sitting on a ship in the mouth of a space whale for the entire episode. She's making breakfast and things like that. That's probably what we're going to get. There's no way they're going to get things going now. They've left it that late. I'm not convinced that we're ever going to get a story. I'm failing to see any conclusion coming of this. Again, you start to see how obvious it. Is this a show that is getting a second season? Probably not. I don't think there's many people watching it. So it's just like, what conclusion are we going to get from this show? I don't believe there's going to be one. It's just going to be, we're done now. Oh, yeah, but you never tied everything up. I don't know. Again, it's very similar to Mandalorian Season 3, where they bring back fucking Gus Fring, like the second from the last episode. It's just like, why did you leave it that long? So my guess is probably Thrawn is going to be back in like episode 7, and then he's going to be defeated in episode 8, and that's the end of that. That's the end of that little arc. We're done with that now. Where else is it going? Oh, Dave Filoni's getting a movie, which probably isn't going to happen because it will fucking bomb, because it will fail. That's probably why. But that gets us through another episode of absolute crap. That is what it is. It is an episode that angers me just because it doesn't do anything. It's like, just just do things. It's gonna be shit either way, but just do it, and then it's at least somewhat entertaining to make fun of. But again, they've just wasted time, wasted so much time, and I'm just not surprised at this point. That is what they do with every show. It just a complete waste of time, not filling it with anything valuable. Just, oh look, you like Anakin, don't you? You're like, oh, it's clone wars but live action. Oh look, lightsabers. It's like, fucking come on. Just actually have the balls to tell a story. Don't just lead the audience on, and then you get to the end, it's like, oh, nothing happened. Nothing happened for 8 episodes. It's just, before I watched this episode today, because I've heard good things about One Piece on Netflix, I thought I'll watch the first 2 episodes of that. I got more out of that in the first episode than I've got out of this for 5 episodes, and it is fucking embarrassing. It is embarrassing that is where Star Wars is being embarrassed by One Piece. That actually has something there. You know who your characters are, what they want, you know what the plot is, you know how the world works, within 1 episode. Then you come to fucking Star Wars, and it's 5 episodes. We don't know nothing about the characters. We don't even know what the fucking plot is. Just, oh, Thrawn might come back. And still people go, oh no, it's great. It's so great. It's shit. Absolute shit. 5 episodes, we haven't done a thing. We have not done a thing. But it's great, everybody. 10 out of 10 episode. Anakin was in it. Live action Clone Wars. What more can you ask for? How about quality?